Hello everyone, it's Steven Mueller, and I'd just like to mention a couple of words. Briefly discuss my theory about the Great Sphinx of Giza, since quite a few of you have written to me and asked me to kind of expand upon my theory, which has sort of been well publicized, and I'd like to just briefly do that. Basically, my theory about the Great Sphinx of Giza asserts the fact that the pharaoh Djedefre was the builder, the architect of the Great Sphinx, and that he built it in his own likeness. And that later, following the death of the pharaoh Djedefre, that his younger half-brother, the pharaoh Khafre, who is quite well known, presumably recarved the likeness of the existing monument to more closely resemble that of his own features. Many people presume that simply because the Great Sphinx is sort of laid out in front of the pyramid of Khafre, that Khafre presumably must have been the builder and that it must be a likeness of him, which, I agree that it currently is a likeness of him, but I do not believe that he was in fact the builder, nor do I believe that Khufu was the builder, their father. I believe that the lesser known pharaoh, Djedefre, was the builder of the Great Sphinx of Giza, and that he presumably built the monument in his own likeness. I was just at Giza a couple of weeks ago, and no matter which angle you sort of look at the monument from, it's quite apparent to me that the head of the Sphinx is slightly smaller in proportion to the rest of its body. Now, my theory sort of addresses this, which is the fact that presumably if the pharaoh Djedefre built the Sphinx to resemble that of his own to reflect his own likeness, and that after his death, the workers of Khafre recarved the face of the existing monument to more closely resemble the features of their new king. And by doing this, they would presumably have had to chip away at the existing face of the monument, thereby making it smaller and then making it appear slightly smaller in relation to the rest of the monument's body. So, there's people that assert that Khufu was the builder of the Sphinx, or the widely held theory is that, it must be Khafre that built the Sphinx, but I disagree with both. I believe that Djedefre, the elder half-brother of Khafre, was in fact the builder of the Great Sphinx, and that it was altered at a later time to resemble the features of Khafre. So basically there you have it. I have quite a few reasons. I could go on and on explaining why I came to that conclusion. There's also the fact that the pharaoh Djedefre was the very first pharaoh to incorporate the name of the sun god Ra into his cartouche, presumably to appear more godlike to his people, and the list sort of goes on and on. But yeah, I believe that the pharaoh Djedefre is the builder of the Great Sphinx of Giza, although it now resembles Khafre. So basically, in a nutshell, that is my theory, and I'd also like to mention my book, The Pharaohs of Ancient Egypt, which is available at waldmannpress.com. So check it out. Thank you for your interest in the subject, and I hope you have a great day.